Good afternoon. I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your day to meet with me today. My proposal will be the delivery of a franchised turnkey business in the form of a cafe doggy daycare. By the end of today's presentation, I will introduce to you the business and its potential value and highlight to you the goals and objectives that will be met in order to deliver the final product to you. A brief background. The cafe culture in Australia isn't just sweeping, it's booming. The Australian cafe market is valued at around $1.4 billion annually, and that figure is projected to grow consistently around 2.5% every year. It's no secret breaking news that Australians love coffee. It's also no secret that the majority of Australians love pets. There are over 24 million pets in Australia, with 38% of them being dogs. That's one dog per 3 people. With CBD intensity rising as well, many people are opting for small apartment-sized dogs. Daycare centres on average in Sydney charge between $50 and $80 per dog per day, with an approximate enrolment of around 7 dogs per day. The average cafe turnover is approximately $500,000, but with around 90% spent on expenses. A doggy daycare has almost zero operating expenditure except for wages and rent. What if we combine the two? There is a distinct opportunity for a pet-friendly cafe and daycare centre in the central Canberra region. Numerous surveys have been performed that have indicated that the dog daycare facilities that are currently available to the market are either too far out from the CBD, charge too much, and have operating hours that do not complement the work hours of the majority of people that live there. This survey data has been affirmed by what was initially thought by the stakeholder and project sponsor. There is definitely a market gap in the doggy daycare area where the business will launch. We have surveyed the market and found that the biggest reason people don't use doggy daycare is cost. If we can offer daycare for $40 per day with a week pass at a discount rate of $150 per week, we can capture the market of price-conscious dog owners. Here is the scope management approach. Project sponsor, Zachary McBride, will be responsible for executive approval and budgetary management. Tom Investor Sylvester will also have executive approval and is a stakeholder and recipient of desired deliverables. Project owner, Marcus Laurulius, the disseminator of policy and project definitions. It will resolve issues and provide clear, distinct definitions. The direct link for communication with the project manager is him. Part of the steering committee, we have Michael Schumacher, Casey Stoner, and Ian Thorpe, who will provide assistance in resolving issues that are beyond the project manager's jurisdiction. Project manager, Theon Greyjoy, will oversee overall management and creation of the project charter, developing and maintaining the work plan, securing and delegating resources, and ensuring the successful completion of the project. Team members, we've got Jack Lackey, Grifter Lifter, Paul Hall, and various contractors and staff. And we have the stakeholder who is Tom Investor Sylvester. So, starting off, we will identify the goals and objectives of the project. The goal is to create a turnkey business that allows motivated individuals to be able to hit the ground running. Objective number 1 is to acquire a property lease that will enable a fit out. This will be broken down into 2 parts. The first to be select desirable property location, and the second to negotiate the lease. Objective number 2 is to complete the fit out. The requirements that have been identified are as follows. Create the shop fit out as per the designer's plan, as you see here. The cost of the designer and the planner is $8,000. We'll then engage with contractors. A construction company has been selected from a wide range of quotes and recommendations. Independent advice was sought from architects and designers, as well as other business owners as to costing and quality of work. The total cost of the fit out will be $37,000, and recurring costs of IT, phone, help desk, and utilities are ongoing. Please see Appendix 3 for the breakdown. Objective number 3 is to hire staff. The hiring of staff will begin before construction has started. Interviews will take place to fill the positions of 4 wait staff, 2 chefs cooks, 1 dog groomer, and 2 dog attendants, for the equivalent of 5 full-time employee in hours per week. This figure will be adjusted post-opening if necessary. 1 manager will be in place to oversee day-to-day operations. The staff hiring and training will be done within the scope of this project as it has been requested by Mr. Sylvester. Hiring of staff will be completed no later than 3 weeks before handover. Objective number 4, market the cafe pre-opening. Marketing will be performed by an external contractor called William Meerkat of William Meerkat Services. Tenders have been submitted by several leading industry experts who have all tended to favour LinkedIn as the preferred medium. Based on pricing and consultancy with marketing professionals, WMS has provided the marketing strategy moving forward. This has been decided on the fact that the target audience for a doggy daycare are working professionals connected to LinkedIn who are time poor. Further marketing can be pursued by the franchisee. However, continual marketing will be provided using franchisor fees. The key elements that will be considered. Key element number 1, costing. Costing will be measured and checked at every stage to ensure it is in line with the project scope. Any adjustments to the project cost will first be communicated to the project manager for approval. Then it will be carried up to the steering committee if the decision cannot be made by the project manager. The budget set for the entire project has been included in Appendix 4. These costs will be initially borne by the franchisor to be later repaid by the franchisee, and for fee breakdown, see franchisee fees. Therefore, all changes to costing must be approved by Mr. McBride and Mr. Sylvester. Timeframes. The total time frame of the project is 12 weeks. To ensure this time frame is achievable, a workplace breakdown structure has been formulated. Please see attached. As you can see, each objective has been broken down. Workplace breakdown structure. As you can see, each objective has been broken down into more manageable tasks and has been assigned a task owner. The task owner can enlist the assistance of any team member or person below them in the hierarchy. So for anticipated deliverables, deliverable number 1, a building premises complete with a cafe daycare fit out that is ready for operation. Upon completion of the project, there will be a shop front that has been leased for the purpose of a cafe doggy daycare, with lease provisions built in to ensure continuity or renewal at the discretion of the franchisee and franchisor. The building will be leased by the franchisor and subleased to the franchisee, with contractual safeguards built in to protect both parties from unconscionable practices. The fit-out will be in the design and layout previously described. Any alterations to this design must be approved by both the project sponsor and the stakeholder. The fit-out will be managed in line with the scope management hierarchy. Theon Greyjoy will manage the bulk of the fit-out process. The total estimated time required for the fit-out is 1 month. A strong market presence is deliverable number 2. The marketing goals will be outsourced to an external agency. There will be a minimum of 6 months continuation with the marketing plan from the moment of adoption by the stakeholder. This is to ensure the message is effective and measurable. The marketing results should yield a strong market presence that will make Canine Cafe a household name. This will be measured by LinkedIn conversion rates as well as click-to-conversion rates. It will also be possible to see the penetration of the targeted ads, which will be consolidated into monthly reports from WMS to both the franchisee and the franchisor. Deliverable number 3, staff that will be prepared and ready to commence work. Training new staff will commence 2 weeks before handover and 2 weeks afterwards. Please refer to the WBS for more detail. This will allow a transition period from hypothetical to practical. The franchisee will receive 3 weeks of training pre and 2 weeks training post, with the inclusion of help desk support regarding IT issues. Franchisee support will be provided by telephone call Monday to Friday 9 till 5 and email when available. In order to find and train the right staff, we will ensure the right staff that will ensure the project's continuous success. Recruitment agencies will be enlisted. The cost of this external management service has been factored into the 5 FTE hours per week costing. Communication plan. Communication between all members of the project team will be in most cases face-to-face. We have a local office where all members of the team except the stakeholder and the team members will be located. Once the project reaches its physical fit-out size, Theon Greyjoy, project manager, will spend most of the time on site, ensuring everything going to plan, cost and time constraints. Communication will flow from the team members to Theon, who will then communicate any issues and their resolutions or options to Marcus and the steering committee, who will then judge whether any changes need to be made to the scope of the plan. Any changes to the scope or the plan must be approved by Mr. McBride and Mr. Sylvester. This short brief wrapping it all up now. This short brief on the scope of the project has outlined the key objectives that must be completed in order to achieve the deliverable outcomes. These objectives, once completed, will deliver what the project set out to do: to create a turnkey business opportunity for motivated individuals to hit the ground running, with a fully operational shopfront, well-trained and prepared staff, and customers literally waiting at the door for opening. I hope this is something that you want to invest in.